Hi, I'm Chris Paul. I'm from the Sartla First Nations. I'm from the Salish people on the west coast. I'm a West Coast Salish artist. I have connections to Bella Bella, which makes me not only Salish from here, but Northern as well. I do have some influences there, but as an artist, I'm more Salish, and I go towards the contemporary. As an artist, I've definitely done it all my life, but it was just drawings and sketches and landscapes and flowers, and sort of developing into abstract. And where it changed was in the abstract, I started doing a lot more. A lot of the native elements started creeping in, just sort of, so just adding little things that were very native, and at the time I really didn't understand what I was doing. I have a lot of processes that I connect together, whether it's carving or sandblasting, or sandblasting different materials like glass and metal and wood. Jewelry is another one that it kind of comes and goes, sort of ebbs and flows, and sometimes it's the market that wants something specific and I just head in that direction. But always, whether I'm using a computer or whether I'm using my hands specifically, it's part of the process that I really enjoy. Well, I think as an artist I've been really lucky. My goals were just to get one piece of art somewhere significant, and it started with the Victoria Conference Center, and I did their logo, but that was just sort of a small stepping stone, and throughout the past 10 or 15 years I've been able to put them all over the place, Sydney and Victoria and the Tilcombe area. It can really start a lot of places when it comes to how my process starts. I was a mechanic and I was into aircraft and all sorts of other things, and I always sought out a mentor, and it was my uncles to start with, and then they would sort of carve part of something or draw part of something, then I'd have to draw the other part. The person that really helped me in the beginning was my brother Andy and Roy Vickers, sort of in tandem. I'd hit a certain point where I knew that I needed to get my art out there, but I really didn't know how, and to find the right person to also teach you how to get it out there. If you go in there and you get any criticism and you're a younger beginner, that sort of thing, it hurts way too much to start there. But for me, I already had all these people in my network that just couldn't wait. They could already see what I was capable of, and they just couldn't wait to help promote me. I really couldn't have done it without them at the time. I also went to like a First Nation school called Kassan, and that really developed a real strength in my design, and also my mentors really sort of keyed it in. Where my inspiration comes from is through every day and sometimes every moment, but at the same time there's huge parts of, say, Native history locally that spending even a moment with it, like somebody just telling me even a part of a story, whether it's contemporary, like say issues to do with residential schools, or even missing women, or any of those kind of things, I just tie myself right into them right away. It just ignites an amazing amount of things in my creativity. If you're ever to read any of my stories, I always have a real personal bent to them, and both bringing traditional history and connecting it to personal events in my life or making statements within the culture. With the Coronet building, UVic really wanted a significant piece that tied, I believe, anthropology and art together. At the time, the most current issue was the rabbits, and of course, people weren't seeing the full picture. And I thought that was really, really significant to add something really important, but not forget all of the parts. And the piece called Finding Balance is really important to what's going on there, because for us as First Nations people, we saw sort of that Cordova Bay area as deer trails and cougars and a place to get really good sea life from those areas. So if you look at that piece, you see the humans on the outside, the rabbit and the deer in there, because there was really great deer trails. And I imagine my people way back when spent a lot of time on the deer trails getting deer. And then of course on the rabbit, on the tail, is also a human face. And just as a reflection of that out of balance situation, I see my art and connecting it to the environment. It's all been synonymous since I was a kid, and the only thing that I liked to poke at with the piece at the Coronet building was how things can get out of balance. My design in its progressive style is mostly in materials and ideas that I have. And it sort of comes back to my mechanical, I've been a mechanic in my life and also an aircraft sheet metal person. And I learned a lot in those areas, sort of as skills, but without an end. And when it came to West Coast Native art, it became really obvious what direction to take it when it came to the different materials. As soon as I realized that I didn't have to stay on paper or drum skins or just wood, I realized the sky's the limit. The doors are wide open. All of a sudden the ideas just burst forth. Well, my ideas outlive who I am and probably my life, right? So I think that's pretty exciting for me, and whoever may find my sketches and designs and ideas in the future, whether it's my children or, who knows, grandchildren. It's our responsibility to give back something. And personally, I already do it with, when I work with a lot of different people and teaching them just how to carve. Whether it's native or non-native, I have no problem. But it's the main part is passing it on. I'd like to say that I'm heading in a specific direction, but again, my process rarely will let me do that. I'll get there, but also there's, maybe distressed wood and aluminum next, and a bit of glass at the same time. I spend a lot of time pondering over it, but at the same time, while producing it, those other things just kind of sneak their way in, and I've got to add that. The things that sort of changed within myself was that I started involving a lot of color that I really liked. And then from the color I went to different materials, glass and metal and silver and gold and all those things. And not just the style, but also my design as it went along really started coming out. Whereas people would say, I can see this person and I can see that person, but now they say, I see Chris Paul.